So, looks like we have a new bass library in town, and this time the guys at SubMission Audio really raised the bar. First of all, I want to thank Ermin for giving me early access to it, and I tested it for a week, 10 days. I don't want to throw words around, but this one really is a game changer, and I'm gonna show you why in a bit. I want to go through just the new features that will make this library stand out from the others. So here we are, Simon Grove's bass. Simon Grove, bass player for Pliny, great mixing engineer and producer based in Australia, in case you didn't know. The first news about this instrument is that it was recorded in fingerstyle, so there's no pick involved, but I have to say that if you program it at the highest velocities, it will sound just like it's picked, so don't worry. The greatest thing about this instrument is that you have now finally access to the whole fretboard. You have the whole range here of every fret on every string on the whole fretboard, which is great because you now can program your riffs to sound just like they should be played in reality. Now let's go through just a few things. You have a clean DI signal, a clean amp signal, an overdrive, a distortion and a lead. The lead is pretty strange, it's more suited for ambient stuff, and each one of these has its own way to be processed. Now, the three controls down there, the Doom control is suggested to be used just for EDM and electronic stuff, or let's say wherever you don't want any kind of humanization to be involved. It will just play as hard as it can. The humanize function is pretty good. I programmed everything at 127, and with this cranked up to 12 o'clock, it sounds like it's very well played, but still human. It's not, I mean, I don't know how many samples you have per note, but it sounds really like it's played. And there is a funny Easter egg here. If you crank it, it says bassist, but I'm sorry, I have to say that this is not accurate because it still sounds too good, even if it says bassist. So, Ermin, you might want to do something about it. The position here, I think it's just a capo. Capo. La pizza. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, I didn't use it. You can choose the tuning of the bass, which is really great because you can make everything works the way it should on the fretboard for your riffs. Here you have all the key switches. You can even choose if you want to use the index or the middle finger. That's insane. And the tapping and the slides are really nice, and I will show you in a bit. These key switches where you can force the strings are awesome. Alright, so first demonstration here. This is a groovy riff. This is actually an unreleased Despot XL song. So yeah, I hope you like it. Now, as I said, it sounds awesome, but what is really awesome again is the fact now you will have a visual representation about how it's played. Now, if these key switches weren't here, it would look and sound like this. Which, I mean, if you want to punch in while you're recording the best sounding notes, you might want to do this, but in the real world, I don't think anyone would play it like this. This is why the key switches for the 4-string function comes really handy. I mean, this is how a real bass player would play this. So this is the first great thing. Here we have another groovy riff. Now, again, without the key switches, it would be played and sound like this. Which again is not how my bass player would play it. This is why it sounds real. This is the real position. it just gives a different vibe. It's true that the higher notes sounds better, but you really have to understand if you want this to sound the best or if you want to make it sound like it's played in the best way possible, which are two different things. And this bass library actually lets you make everything sound like it's recorded in the best way possible, in the right position. Another nice thing, tapping feature. The tapping feature is pretty amazing, and this is also another demonstration about how important is the key switch thing. Here's the tapping part. Let me show you on the fretboard. This tapping lick is played on the 5th string in the real world, and now I can make it sound like it's played. If this key switch wasn't there, we would have this thing. In this case, it sounds completely unnatural, but it also sounds like doo-doo. The slides, we were used to select the start note of the slides and just select a fast slide or a slow slide and hope that it would sound right. Now you can choose the starting note and the ending note, and you can do whatever you want. Remember, you have to choose also the strings on which the slide starts and ends, because you have to get used to this library because it's a little different from the others, but this is how the slides sound here. And it actually sounds like a really played slide. It's incredible. And also, the key switch for the slide, pay attention to this because it took me a couple days to understand this because, of course, I didn't read the manual and I didn't watch the tutorial video that Ermin sent me because I'm an idiot. The key switch for the slide should not be put on the initial note, but on the notes that you want to be slided. Alright? And this lets you do a lot of crazy stuff, like, for example, not just a slide that goes down, but a slide that goes up and then down, for example. You can do, for example, something like this. And this is something that you couldn't absolutely do with the other libraries. I think that just these 3 features that I showed you makes this library a step above all the others, because yes, we know there already are great sounding libraries, but the level at which you can humanize and make everything sound is actually played in this one, it's amazing, for real. First of all, thanks for watching. I know it's a short video, just a couple of things, but I'm sure Ermin will make one of his wonderful tutorial videos that you should watch. Don't be like me. I will just say hi by letting you hear the start of this new Despot Excel song. So, thanks for watching. This was GroveBass. Hope you liked it. Buy it. It's great.